Is she right or is she wrong? Today, I'm going to comment on another person's video breaking down how if you're not fat adapted, you're going to destroy, demolish your health on a carnivore and ketogenic diet. Let's get into it right. Welcome everyone to my very humble life. Now, let's get into this business. I've been saying this story, reality for freaking years and years and years. If you go back through my video catalog, I've been talking about what? Gluconeogenesis. And this is your body's ability to make glucose without eating any carbs, like nothing, like 0% carbohydrates. So how is that possible? Well, our bodies don't know that we live in the modern time. So when you fast or you eat all that protein, your body is learning how to use sugar as its main source of fuel instead of ketones. And when you're doing a carnivore diet, you can't run off of protein, which is converted into glucose, because you can't store it in the muscle as glycogen. It's just not enough. You're going to have liver glycogen, blood sugar, but not enough to get you through those powerful days, workouts, out with horses, whatever it is. So your body goes into the body factory and it stirs things up and it makes sugar out of breaking down amino acids that can be in your skin, collagen, bone marrow, reproductive system. I mean, anything that gives you life and vitality. And if you are going through gluconeogenesis, which is a cortisol response from not eating or eating too much protein and not actually having stored glycogen, then your body starts to eat itself. Fasting is the worst. I don't even know how that thing came into play, how the lies and the tomfoolery came into play with that, but I digress. I'm going to review this woman's video like I've been doing lately. Is she right? Is she wrong about carnivore and ketogenic diets? So let's pull her up, Miss Rebecca. Let's pull her up and let's watch this video because I got some words, my people. I do. I really, really, really do.
Hello, this video is about gluconeogenesis. I already have a gluconeogenesis video to kind of just walk you through what it is, but this video is sort of clarification on gluconeogenesis because there's some misunderstanding and a common question that comes up, which is all related to the same topic, which is low carb or zero carb or carnivore sustainable? Does someone need carbohydrates for their thyroid to keep cortisol low enough? Will it stress the body out? If someone's not properly fat adapted, yeah, it will stress the body out. You might lose your hair, your
Preach, girl. Preach. Finally, someone is mentioning in a video something I've been saying for years. I'm sure she's come across my shite because I've been talking about gluconeogenesis from almost day one. But this is going on years, 10 years, I don't know, plus talking about gluconeogenesis. Yes, girlfriend. Let's continue because people think it's going to destroy your thyroid. Well, let's listen to some more.
thyroid might crash. Bad things happen when someone doesn't properly fat adapt. And there's this big myth that if you are eating,
yes, your thyroid's going to get completely destroyed if you're not fat adapted or in ketosis. But girlfriend, preach.
Under a certain amount of carbohydrates, you're automatically burning fat for fuel. This is a lie. And I've shared it before. There have been multiple individuals that I've worked with who have been zero carb for years, but they're still running on glucose. How could that be? Their ketones are rock bottom, and then their glucose is all over the place. How could that be?
I love this. It's like I'm grinning from ear to ear. It's like I'm the Cheshire cat. Like finally somebody is saying what I've been saying forever. Because when I'm the only one saying it, people don't believe me. They just don't. And they go back to these diets that never get better. And now finally somebody's got the bollocks to say it as loud as I have preached, that you must be in ketosis if you're doing a carnivore diet. Like, come on, my people. Anyone who says that they've been doing carnivore for 15 years plus without being in ketosis is hiding everything on health issues. And do I think that they've done that completely strict and clean? Hell no. But it sure sounds profitable, doesn't it, to say you've been doing carnivore for 15 years. But let's keep listening to my girl Rebecca. And bam.
Gluconeogenesis. Watch my video on gluconeogenesis. It's when the body basically doesn't feel safe. And so it creates glucose because it recognizes a need for quick energy. Well, how do we remove excess rates of gluconeogenesis when we're doing low carb? You become properly fat adapted.
Yes,
a lot
ma'am.
of people resist adding extra fat, but this is what trains
Preach.
the body to prefer fat for fuel. And once the body prefers fat for fuel and you've gone through the healing process of supporting your thyroid, your adrenals, your sex hormones, you're sleeping through the night like a baby, getting deep restorative sleep, you can run on fat for fuel. In your body, the brain does need some glucose, fact, but your body can convert, even a fat molecule has glucose attached to it. That can be converted to glucose for your brain. And so gluconeogenesis doesn't just automatically.
To contextualize, because I think she's missing a couple of key points, your red blood cells also need glucose. And when you're testing your blood sugar between, or milligrams per deciliter, let's say 1 to 600, okay? Nobody's glucose is 1. And no one's glucose is that low. People I've seen 40s, but nothing lower. This means that your body, with the absence of carbohydrates and just eating high fat and some meat, and there's a little bit of carbs and meat, but nothing to really spike your blood sugar, your body still literally going through gluconeogenesis, irregardless if you're fat adapted or not. This means that fat adaptation is not like, I'm only using ketones, my glucose is in this low range. And the low range is still high enough to feed your brain and your red blood cells for thyroid. But let's continue.
Occur all throughout the day if you're not eating enough carbs. That is a myth, and that is a dangerous lie. That would happen to the individual who did not properly fat adapt.
Exactly.
This is why there's so much misinformation, especially from your doctor, who says a low carb diet is dangerous for pregnancy.
Especially from the carnivore doctors out there. That you can eat tons of protein and completely heal everything without gluconeogenesis. Come on.
It's dangerous for women, especially because you're going to stress your body out. No, this doesn't happen if you properly fat adapt.
Yes.
Everyone is missing this. Fat adaptation is huge. And I have a video on it. There's a process that you have to take your body through. It's like training your body, not just to recognize fat as fuel, but to prefer fat for fuel.
Which is why I've said for years, you've got to treat your body like you're training for the Olympics to get into ketosis and continue.
And once you get there and you stay there for however long it takes for you to fully heal systemically, again, that's your thyroid, your adrenals, your sex hormones,
blood sugar.
You don't need carbs. I'm an example of this. I am 24 weeks pregnant, breastfeeding, sleeping through the night, except for last night. I have a cold, but I sleep well. And I am very close to zero carb these days because that's what I'm craving. And before I got pregnant again,
Okay, she's going to mention the carbs that she still has in her diet. This is the only thing I think is a bunch of bullshit. Absolutely tomfoolery. But other than that, she's solid.
Went through a season of testing out carbohydrates and it went really well because I'm metabolically flexible. I would eat some homemade sourdough bread. I would have an apple and my fat burning would come down maybe from 95% to 65% for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then it would go right back into fat burning mode.
No, ma'am.
Because I'm metabolically flexible.
Okay, so this is where I disagree with her. Just because I'm metabolically flexible. If I had some bread, my blood sugar would skyrocket and it would take me 3 days to get back into ketosis. Because right away your body's like, my glucose glycogen storages are being refilled. It's not going to come back that night. I do not know. First, you got to deplete the glycogen storages and you got to retrain the brain to Stop going back to what it's used to your entire life and stay in this realm of ketosis. No. Somebody who's highly fat adapted or metabolically flexible will take them a couple days. The average person, it takes months, right? It can take 4 weeks to a couple months if you just go and cheat during, let's say, the holidays. So this is where we disagree. You cannot get back into the ketosis that night. You can make the ketones on a chow. You ain't using them. No.
And because I was mindful about timing my carbohydrates around glycogen depleting exercise, the morning time with the morning sun, which is really great for leptin, insulin sensitivity.
True, but that's
not. I'm not sharing too much right now. This is a lot of information. My point is that it's not automatic. Fat adaptation is not automatic. Reddit, I don't know if anyone you uses Reddit, but I used to be in there all the time because it's real people. And I still like to use Reddit. If I'm like, looking up vacuum cleaner reviews, it's real people. So I look at Reddit. But in the carnivore and keto space, I don't know if it's still happening now because I'm not there. But years ago when I was sick, I was in there and everyone would gaslight me. And I'd be like, I am definitely still running glucose. I'm in full fight flight mode, but I'm not eating any carbs. They're like, if you're not eating any carbs, you're in ketosis. I'm like, no, I'm not. No one would believe me. They literally would be like,
yeah, people think that if you fast and you present ketones, you're in ketosis. No. What's going on with your blood sugar? Often people make ketones and then they just don't really use them. They're not consistently using ketones. And that's why some people say, like, I feel really great I had energy for an hour. And then after that, I didn't. That's not highly fat adapted. Oh, hell no.
You're lying. You're insane. No, like you were wrong. People just don't understand. It's not that simple. You have to be properly fat adapted.
Yes.
Cortisol itself can blunt fat oxidation. And so if you are living a very stressful lifestyle, your job maybe is too stressful, maybe you are abusing blue light at night, you're not getting that high quality sleep, that's going to dysregulate your cortisol. Those things can also inhibit your ability to not only use but prefer fat for fuel, and that will kick you into gluconeogenesis because your body needs an energy source. So if it doesn't feel safe using fat for fuel for whatever reason, if it doesn't feel that's efficient or safe or even possible, then it will create glucose via gluconeogenesis. It's a beautiful survival mechanism, but it shouldn't be happening throughout the day. It's just a complete lie to say that anyone who's doing zero carb is just running on gluconeogenesis, and that's stressful for the body. You're not running on gluconeogenesis. That's if you've done it improperly. Leave your comments and questions down below. I hope this helps make you think about what you.
She made some really great points, and like I said, I agree with most things that she's mentioning in this video. Clearly, I'm a lot older and have been doing this a lot longer. So besides the whole I can get back into ketosis that night because I'm metabolically flexible is much nonsense. But that's just my opinion. I own the patent on it. She could disagree, don't care. But as far as what she's saying, she's a little baddie, meaning badass. That's pretty cool. So comment below. Do you guys check your blood sugar? Do you? I don't even know where to look anymore. Camera over here, camera over there. Do you guys test your blood sugar and the ketones? Do you know when to test them? You know what numbers to look for? What's your A1C? What's your insulin? Are you eating a lot of protein on carnivore diet and on keto? Because don't get it twisted. People do the same dang thing. They're like, oh my God, I had so much fat. I ate a ribeye. I'm like, no, that's loaded on a bunch of protein fibers. That's not pure fat. What drips to the pan at the bottom, the grease, that's pure fat. The white gristly stuff on your steak, that is not pure fat. That's partially protein. So understanding the fact that you need to have at least 12 tablespoons of rendered fat added to your plate. And you will see if you use your own glucometer and test your blood glucose and ketones only in the morning on an empty stomach, you will see that your ketones rise. Even if you have leaky gut, even if your gallbladder is a little wacky, you crank up the fats. And remember, fat does not make you fat. No, it doesn't. Carbs make you fat. Always understand this. You don't need insulin to get your body to make ketones and utilize them. When you become insulin resistant, that's because your blood sugar is skyrocketing and your fat cells are very insulin sensitive. We don't want that. We want our muscle cells to be insulin sensitive. We want other cells in the body to be insulin sensitive rather than insulin resistant, while your fat cells are like, come on in, we're sensitive, we're going to have a party. So then the fat cells, sorry, I'm trying to rush so I can rest. So then the fat cells can sit there and become inefficient at burning fat through gluconeogenesis. And then you have this estrogen response of the body producing estrone within the fat cells, which is signaling the brain to store more fat. Yes, so ketosis, eating a lot of fat, and moderating that blood sugar, that's the whole thing. And you have to eat a lot of fat just to get that signaling going, to even make the ketones, and your gallbladder has to function properly. So comment below, share this content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. This platform really loves to kind of hide me in the algorithm, but I'm still here after all these years, and I'm out. Peace. Energy. Oh yeah. If you guys need a consultation, if you need my help, I've been doing this for years, over 10,000 people I've worked with. I'm not going to sit there and tell you it's so easy, just eat a bunch of protein and it's going to take all your gut issues away, and your mast cell activation and your joint pain and your menstrual issues, and you're going to build a ton of muscle if you just eat a bunch of protein. I'm not the one. I'm not the one to do that. But I also run a course where I realize now, after all these years, I coach 3 different styles of low carb, because not everybody can do not everyone can do starch. Not everyone can do carnivore, where there's no plants. A lot of people can't do plants at all, and how to mitigate the plants so you can introduce them slowly back to get that short chain fatty acid response going. And I'm out, because I do have energy, but I'm burnt from training horses, building houses, dealing with crews, taking care of my mom, and learning here, and coaching people. And I'm out. Peace. Energy. This girl's got it going on. I spy with my little eye a beautiful horse. What's up, bro? What is up? Good boy. That big horse. That's what it looks like from the outside. Now that's a big horse.